Dashie, written by Reaps. Pinkamena frowned as she spun her knife between her fingers. She shifted slightly on her mattress and looked over her room. Though it was barely lit, her eyes had long adjusted, and she could see the somewhat macabre decor very clearly. A wall had a number of tales tied to it, all from past victims, while their hooves formed a neat line just to the right. There were a few equikins around the room as well, all with a pair of wings carefully sewn onto them. Pinkamena stopped herself as she noticed a particular pair. She sat up and set the knife down. The colors weren't what she recognized. There was too little light to recognize anything beyond what shade of gray anything was. She simply knew the wings, and she knew them well.
"Dashie,"
she whispered, before taking a deep, slightly shaky breath. Pinkamena stood, slowly. The light creak of the floor beneath her was crystal clear in the utter silence surrounding her. She slowly walked to the equikin, her breath steadily going shakier with each step. Upon reaching it, she gently ran her fingers over the left wing, raking them lightly through the feathers she went beyond her normal lengths to ensure were preserved.
"Why did I do it, Dashie? Why did I do this to you?"
Pinkamena felt a single tear slide down her cheek as she shut her eyes.
"I'm sorry."
She let go of the wing completely, lifting her hand to wipe her cheek.
"I wish I could just see you again. I'd give anything to have you back."
Pinkamena shivered as she felt a slight chill roll over the room. She heard something like a hiss and quickly turned, only to see nothing out of the ordinary. After a moment of waiting, she rolled off as the silence played tricks on her and went back to her bed. She reached for her knife, only to have her hand meet the covers instead. She looked down in search of it, but it was gone. Her eyes flew wide. She leapt onto her bed and looked around the room as she felt the chill from before her grow. She looked around the room wildly. She soon heard something, someone clearing their throat overhead. Pinkamena rolled off of her bed, looking up to see a dark unicorn. Only something was off. She was hovering above the bed, with no wings and without her horn lit up. The unicorn stretched and rolled onto her back in the air, smiling almost impossibly wide. Her eyes were a deep green and the only distinguishable color in the room. After a moment of silence between the two, the unicorn frowned.
"Oh, dearie, what's wrong? Did I interrupt your little monologue? It was so sweet, too, like mourning the loss of a lover. Oh, but wait, you never got the chance with her, did you?"
Pinkamena growled and stepped forward, her hands clenched tight.
"Who the fuck are you?"
"Me? Oh, that's hardly what's important here, dear Pinkamena. You see, what's really important here is you. Well, who you are, what you've done, and what you want."
"What are you talking about? What are you after?"
No, I'm not after anything. All I want is to see you happy. Now, we both know what it is you want. You want her back. You want to reverse the events of your past and make everything right, correct?
Yeah? Why?
reason. After all, that's perfectly impossible, my dear, even for a DIJINN such as myself. Although...
The DIJINN smirked. Pinkamena wasn't smiling, however. She was staring daggers at this DIJINN.
What are you getting at? Stop talking around it like I'm some fool!
I'm just offering you a way out of this, my dear. You see, while I can't bring back your precious Dashie back, I can take you to a world where she is still alive. I can let you live the life you wanted.
Why should I trust you?
Because I'm the only pony that isn't scared of you. Because I am the only one left who cares about the monster you've become. Don't worry, I'm a monster too. I am a demon, after all. Enough about me, though. I'm here to help you. So, are you interested? Or should I just move on and give this wish to some pony else? Maybe some pony who actually deserves it.
I mean, just give me a moment.
Pinkamena took a few breaths. Her eyes scanned the room over briefly before she looked back to the DIJINN. She hesitated, but soon spoke up.
You promise she'll be real? It won't just be some kind of dream or something?
The DIJINN smiled warmly.
She will be as real as you, my dear. Does this mean you'll take my offer, then?
Once more, Pinkamena hesitated, but she soon gave a sigh and nodded.
I want to see her again. I just want to have the things back like they were.
As you wish it, it shall be.
The DIJINN hovered over to Pinkamena, placing both hands on the pink mare's shoulders.
Now, just close your eyes and relax.
Pinkamena nodded and closed her eyes, trying her best to relax herself. All was quiet for a moment. Pinkamena felt her left arm grow slightly warmer moments before she felt something press against her lips. She opened her eyes immediately to find a very familiar light blue Pegasus before her. It took her no longer than to recognize the mare before she threw herself into the kiss, wrapping her arms tightly around Rainbow Dash. Sadly, the kiss was short-lived, but thankfully, Pinkamena was given a good look into the magenta eyes she'd so missed.
You okay, Pinks? You were a bit slow getting into that one.
Pinkamena had to stop herself from nearly squealing with delight at that. She pulled Rainbow Dash closer, holding onto the mare as though this was their last day together. She felt tears welling up in her eyes and made no attempt to stop them. Rainbow Dash began to speak, but simply shook her head and smiled before holding tight to Pinkamena and laying both of them back onto the bed.
You're weird sometimes, you know that?
After a moment with no response, she rolled her eyes and snuggled closer to Pinkamena. After a few moments of content silence, Pinkamena whispered softly,
I'm so glad you're back, Dashie. I'm so glad we're together again. Forever.
Pinkamena's fingers slowly uncurled from the knife in her right hand. She sighed happily as her blood steadily flowed from her wrist. The DIJINN smiled and kissed Pinkamena's forehead gently.
Good night, dear Pinkamena. She'll never leave you alone again. Loyal to the end, isn't she?